is go back to something that I wrote at the end, and the leaders feeling empowered to act. Is I added this. This was a later ad, by the way. You know, when you write the book and then you look at, you kind of read it, and I was being asked a question by senior leaders mainly, you know, which was, why can't leaders take ownership? So thinking about leaders that report to them, like, we're senior leaders, we have a direction, we have a strategic plan, and we've got strategic guide, and they're saying, why can't leaders take ownership and make their own decisions rather than coming to me for direction all the time, right? And I was getting that question. And so I connected it back to this principle, because and back to the what we saw with the alignment of the arrows, chaotic, you know, strategic direction, trying to balance our arrows to really building that true alignment. And that's again where I connected it back to Holly and others, the freedom within the fences. And so sometimes as senior leaders, I'm one of those, and I'm guilty of this as well, is we think about, we've created the fence and we think we have a direction and alignment. We're like, go get it, you know, go after it. And why can't you? And then when we look at our leaders who are reporting to us, sometimes we're like, well, why can't they just problem solve that in a particular way, or make decisions, or why is there a dependency on me when there doesn't need to be? But then again, when they need to depend on me, why aren't they depending on me, right? So there's mixed messages that are going to that next level leadership, and even to middle managers, as that cascades down in that alignment process. And so there were two things that I just think are really important. So I had to really think about how to answer that question, and looking at the learnings that I've had over the years. And the first is the first, number one and number two on page 191, that senior leaders need to make sure organizational leaders have the necessary skills to apply a continuous improvement process. So when we talk about what Angela did, that's a true continuous improvement process from beginning to end, applying all the 9 principles to achieve the results. It doesn't just happen without people understanding and being developed to do that. So we first of all have to make sure that our leaders are truly developed in a way that they can apply those skills to give them confidence. And the second thing is that senior leaders help organizational leaders understand when they can make those decisions. And that's the empowerment. So that's really important. When can they make those decisions? So if we're sending mixed messages that and they don't understand clearly what the alignment process looks like, or have a structure to go by, and when we're building solution finding approaches, if they don't understand where that empowerment exists, because they don't understand where the freedom and the fences lies, if that makes sense, then it's very, very difficult for them to really feel that empowerment, because they're going to shy away usually on the side of not doing it than doing it, because when they do it, there's high risk. And what I've learned more than anything in responding to that question and trying to apply it to myself is, that's that creative tension. How do I create the right amount of tension, but with the right amount of direction and definition that really helps to build the empowerment of leaders, so that they feel comfortable making the decision, but also know when that decision can be made within the framework that we set for them. That's our job. For those of you that are senior leaders on here, that's our job as senior leaders, is to provide that extremely good visionary direction and set the fence in a way that's meaningful to people, in a way they understand, so they can build that alignment and apply the tactics and tools in Principle 7. That's the part that hopefully, as we look at the alignment, creative tension, senior leadership and empowerment, and decision making and problem solving, that it's intentional, it's every day, and it's very thoughtful. So important. And Principle 7 is a key to us really accelerating the results and bringing our people with us to do that and achieve great outcomes.